So as fall begins, the gardening season here in Ohio seems to wind down. Or does it? Stay tuned to find out. Hi everyone, Amy here from Dayton Nursery in Norton, Ohio. I'm going to give you our top tips for gardening in fall. So the first thing that grabs our attention are those worn out and tired looking annuals in our combination pots, hanging baskets, and in the ground. One thing you can do is replace with fresh colors such as garden mums, ornamental cabbage and kale, ornamental grasses, and don't forget about pansies. That's not the most common choice for fall, but it's a great choice for a plant that will bloom throughout winter as well. Now for those tropical plants you hope to overwinter, such as tropical hibiscus, mandevilla, houseplants, you need to start bringing those indoors when temperatures at night reach 50 degrees or less. Before you bring those plants indoors, be sure to spray them with a heavy stream of water. Make sure you get all the stems, the branches, the leaves, and the underside of the leaves. You want to wash off any of that pesticide residue or any insects or eggs that may overwinter on your plant. The next step would be to apply a systemic insecticide that will help protect your plants over the next 6 months. Weeds can also be a problem in the fall. Be sure to get those pulled, as the seeds from the seed heads could come back and haunt you next season. Applying preen anytime in September or October can help prevent those seeds from germinating. Fall is also a great time to prepare for spring flowering bulbs that is. Be sure to grab your spring bulbs such as tulips, daffodils, allium, hyacinth early because they tend to sell out, and store those until about mid-October when it's cooler for planting. Be sure to watch our video on how to plant spring flowering bulbs successfully. I will link that in the description below. And once we receive that first very hard freeze in the fall, it is the best time to cut back and store your tender bulbs such as canna, calla, gladiolus, and dahlia. For information on how to store these bulbs over the winter for blooming again the next season, check our description below for a link to more information. And speaking of bulbs, fall is a great time to plant garlic for harvest the next season. The best thing to do for garlic is to provide loose soil. The addition of sweet peat is a great choice for that. I do suggest buying your bulbs at a reputable garden center. If you buy them at a grocery store, they may have been sprayed to prevent sprouting. Fall is a great time to either cut back or divide perennials that may have grown a little bit too big for their space. This would include hosta, daylily, coral bells, hardy geranium, and peony. As far as roses are concerned, they would really appreciate a top dressing of either compost or sweet peat. You can now at this time prune out any damaged or dead canes, and you want to remove and actually destroy any of dropped foliage that may have had powdery mildew or black spot over the summer. For more tender roses such as tea roses and floribunda roses, you actually want to pile almost a foot over the top of the plant. Either sweet peat or pine bark mulch would do well to help protect the canes over the winter. We have a video on that, and I will also link that one below. Now, as far as the lawn is concerned, fall is a great time for seeding, for fertilizing, and for grub control. Applying a fall fertilizer on the lawn is great for this time of year. It will really help green it up come spring. As far as seeding, fall is a great time to overseed or seed a new lawn. The temperature is more consistent, and for rainfall will really help that seed get going. Grubs may also show up this time of year on your lawn. One thing you might want to try is Bayer's 24-hour Grub Killer Plus that is best applied in the fall or early spring when the grubs are near the soil surface. As far as your edibles are concerned, be sure to pull up any of those veggie plants that may have been done producing. And peach leaf curl was actually quite common this past spring, so once the leaves drop from that tree, you'd want to spray with a copper fungicide. My last tip of the day is something to watch out for. Recently we've had a lot of questions regarding browning of evergreen trees, such as pine, spruce, cedar, and arborvitae. But don't worry, if there's an overall consistent browning of the tree, it is just fall needle drop. Kind of just like a deciduous tree, sometimes the evergreens need to shed their needles as well. If you notice the browning is more on the tips of the tree or the new growth, be sure to contact us as there may be a different problem, but an overall browning of a tree is consistent with fall needle drop. So as you can see, a gardener's landscape is like an artist's painting. It is never finished. If you have any questions about today's video, feel free to contact us. Bye-bye.